Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of New York, season 15, episode number 13. This one's called Dinner Disasters and Breakfast Breakdowns. That's pretty accurate.
Very accurate. Very accurate.
So we are on day 2 in Puerto Rico. Honestly, I guess because of the break, like the 2-week break, I feel like we've been in Puerto Rico for a week now.
I do too. And I got real bored of the conversation between Brynn, Sai, and Erin. Real bored. And Sai, I think, should just stay away from Brynn.
Yeah, so that's really where we start out, is the three of them are out at the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And Brynn brings up, really they're Jessel bassing is what they're doing. But Brynn brings up, do you remember when we asked last year who the love of your life was? And I said David, and you said Abe, and Jessel said this guy that she used to date, and that her parents wouldn't let her marry him because he wasn't Indian. And then the three of them are talking about how they don't really think that like Jessel loves Pavit, like they're just really like good friends and like buddies.
I think that was so outrageous and disrespectful and rude and not just so mean. Like, why? First of all, why would you ever repeat that story on TV?
I know. I agree. I was
You're
shocked.
messing with someone's marriage. That's messing with someone's marriage, in my opinion. And then Erin's like, I don't see them, having sex. Like, she's like, you could like picture me and Abe having sex. No, Erin. Nope.
No.
I don't picture you and Abe having sex. I don't ever want to picture you and Abe having sex. Ever. In a million years.
I agree. I mean, I thought listen, Brynn is the one who started it, but they didn't have to jump on that bandwagon. I mean, even Sai does tell Ubah, and Ubah's like, you got to tell Jessel. Mm-hmm. But even before that, like, I didn't realize that Sai and Pavit were not in a good place until they played that back. And I didn't,
Me neither.
I didn't realize that. She's like, I just ignore him, because he called her bipolar and he called her a bitch.
Yeah.
Which is not cool. It's not cool, but she said she's in a good place with Jessel, and Jessel doesn't even realize it, And I think it's better that way.
For sure. Last year, Sai was obviously a different person. We see a different side, we see a different side this year, and we like it.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, you should never call somebody bipolar. But, I mean, she kind of was a bitch last season.
Right.
I don't think Pavit should have said it on TV.
No. And like I said, I think the way that Sai's handling it is perfect because, one, we didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't let it affect, and they show you her avoiding him. She just avoids him.
Right.
And like she said, Jessel doesn't even know. Well, she'll know after she saw this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, I'm sure Pavit will apologize too. Because I think that's who he is. He does say a lot of stupid things. And that was just another one of them.
Absolutely. But yeah, I was like, by the end of the conversation, I'm like, I'm just so bored of this.
Mm-hmm.
It was like middle schoolers.
It was really like middle schoolers. And then Brynn was saying that Jessel's house is like the showroom for restoration hardware. Her house is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful.
And it's way bigger than Brynn's.
Yeah. And the fact that she's like, oh yeah, I can go over and hang out with her kids while they trash her restoration. I mean, come on. She's got 2 toddlers. I mean, it just was not called for. It really wasn't.
Well, and the funny thing is that Brynn's like, talking about the glam. And I mean, we'll get to that because it's at the dinner. But then she's like, I want to just hang out with you and your kids. That's what Brynn says to Jessel. It's like, but you were just trashing her kids.
Right.
You were just saying how her kids are awful and misbehaved.
Right. And even still, like, she's saying that she's going to say something to Jessel about the way she acts. And then Erin says, well, she's mad at you too. And she's like, well, what is she mad at me for? Oh, about that photo shoot. Well, yeah. So I was at the photo shoot and I said to her, I'm going first because I got to get home to my dog. Meanwhile, she was next in line and she had to get home to feed her kids.
She's got 2 toddlers. Yeah.
Right. So, and the fact that Brynn thinks that that's right, it just like blows my mind.
Brynn's making this show stupid. She really is making the show stupid. I am losing interest. I'm really losing interest.
Yeah, I agree. She's stirring the pot way more than it needs to be stirred.
And it's for stupid things. Like Jessel gets glam and has photographers at things. Like,
Right.
This is your big beef with her.
Right.
Like, she didn't screw your husband.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. It's made up BS for the show, and it's not.
I agree. So then they all the ladies get dressed up to go to dinner, and they all get in the Sprinter van to go out. They get there. I'm not really quite sure. Why did Brynn order 4 espresso martinis? Was she ordering for other people at the table?
No, I think she was just trying to be funny or something. I don't know. I don't know. Because somebody else ordered 2 drinks.
Well, Ubah ordered 2 non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, she was having mocktails, yeah.
She was having one for her, and I'm not sure who the other one was for, because she said maybe Jenna?
I thought she said Erin, but you know what? Jenna would make more sense because I don't think Jenna drinks alcohol either.
Yeah, I think it might have been Jenna. And then Jenna says that she has a picture to show the ladies at dinner of her vagina hair.
Why do you gotta do that before dinner? Like, I don't ever want to see that, but some people might. But
I don't want to see it.
Right before dinner?
I don't want to see it.
I don't know.
I mean, the ladies are all laughing about it and they're making fun of it. And even like the people in the restaurant are looking at them. And then they're doing their confessionals and all the ladies are drawing their version of it. Like,
that was actually very funny. A drawing, I'm here for. I just don't want to see the actual photo. That was very funny.
Well, thank God we did not see the actual photo.
Thank God. You can keep
Can you
that
imagine?
Dick pic. I want nothing to do with either one of them.
Then Erin at the dinner table is telling the ladies that Jessel said that she was mad at Brynn. And the thing is, Erin and Brynn are on one side of the table and Jessel is on the opposite end of the table across from Ubah.
Yeah.
So it's a little awkward. And Jessel kind of gets wind that they're talking about her. So she kind of like speaks up. And then Erin's like, yeah, I was just telling them that you were mad at her. And she's like, well, they asked me a question like, have you ever gotten mad at Brynn before? And I said, yes, at this photo shoot. And she said exactly what happened.
And it's so interesting because when Erin brought it up earlier at breakfast, she didn't say that. She didn't say, we asked Jessel if she had ever been mad at you. She didn't say that. She just said, well, Jessel's got a beef with you.
Right.
Or she's annoyed at you.
Right. Exactly.
Good for Jessel. Because they're coming at her with because of the photographer and the glam. And she's like, I am vain. And listen, good for you. You people at home don't know, but because I spend mad money on makeup and skincare. I don't know if that makes me vain. I don't have glam and photographers following me around, but that's my gig. That's what I like. Like, good for Jessel for sticking up for herself. Like, fuck you, Brynn. You do the same thing. Like, okay, maybe you don't want to spend the money on glam. Maybe you don't have the money for glam, but Jessel does.
Yeah. And, listen, even all the other ladies at the table were like, so what? Like, why are you giving her a hard time about it?
Yeah, it's a stupid thing to dislike about someone.
It really is. It really is. And then Brynn's like still wouldn't let it go. She's just like, I just, like even at your birthday party, like it was so much like with the photographer. And Jessel's like, well, you left early to get a spray tan anyway. What do you care?
Yeah, what do you care?
And it's true.
Really
what
odd.
do you care? I did like that in Jessel's confessional. She's like, and she said, I've changed so much. She brought her agent or her manager, whatever it was, to my kid's birthday party.
Yeah. What'd she say? I have it. Yeah. I don't know. I have it somewhere. Manager or agent, one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then she's like, so at least Rebecca stuck up for Jessel.
She did, but as true to form, like no one was listening to Rebecca.
No one was listening.
Yeah.
And then Brynn's whispering to Erin, like, deep down, she doesn't like you. Like, she's so 7th grade, Brynn. She doesn't want Erin to have a friendship with anybody else. That's what it comes down to.
That's exactly what it comes down to, is that she doesn't want her to have a friendship with anybody else. And
then they get on the bus and she's like, She's like waving her over to come in the back of the bus. Like, what are you doing? You're a grown woman.
Yeah. Listen, it was ridiculous. It really was ridiculous. What Rebecca said is she's the one who clarified that Jessel was asked the question.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
like
Jessel
she didn't just come
that.
into a room and been like, I'm so pissed off at Brynn.
Exactly. And Jessel had said that already. So she just kind of backed it up.
Right.
And like you said, Erin's the one who brought it up, and she didn't say that.
Never indicated that it was a question asked and Jessel answered it.
No, she didn't. And it's that there's no reason for that. Like, there's no reason to be shady like that. I agree with Ubah. They were both bullies. Both of them. Erin and Brynn are both bullies.
They are.
And I did also like that Jessel, she stood up for herself and she told Erin to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Erin did not like that. But
yeah. I was like, good for you.
Yep.
And then Ubah, you could see like she's not feeling well. She's getting upset about what's going on. She's very loyal to Jessel. She doesn't want to pop off on Brynn.
Right.
And
Brynn keeps pushing.
And, she just, at one point, she just closes her eyes like to kind of get out of the situation, if not mentally, And then Brynn has to start on her.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to be here, then leave. Yeah.
Right. Why are you even here?
And then, Ubah's like to Brynn, like, stay the fuck out of my business. Like, what does it matter to you what I'm doing at the other end of the table?
Right. I'm not even sitting near you.
Right. I'm not bothering you. I'm not calling you names. I'm not bullying you. Like, stay the fuck out of my business.
Yep.
So then they get on the van and Ubah says she's calling Brynn a bully and Brynn's in the back and Ubah's in the very front. And she's like, I'm just here being me. I got this job because I was being me. If she slept with somebody to get the job, then that's a different story. And then all of a sudden she stands up and she's like, did you just say I slept with somebody? And then it's, kind of got explosive. Listen, I get that she was upset. I get that she was upset, but Ubah was just like, you know what? You're going to poke me. I'm going to poke you.
Exactly. This was Brynn's fault, and nobody can convince me otherwise. She pushed Ubah to that point. Ubah didn't say, you slept with somebody to get the job. She said, maybe if she did. Okay. Right. And then Raquel gets on the screen and is like, women have to defend themselves. No. Brynn puts her sexuality out there and waves it like a flag, like she is proud and loud.
Right.
You got to back that up then. You can't then do the old woe is me. And this has nothing to do with her essay. Please let me be very,
No, it does
clear.
not.
This has nothing to do with that. I'm not commenting on that. But I'm commenting on the fact that she's very flirtatious with everyone, men or women who are in front of her site. It goes back to what Erin said or didn't say on Jeff Lewis. Like, it's not outlandish for someone to think that Brynn maybe has a man taking care of her because of the way she behaves, especially around older men. Like, I don't want to get myself in trouble for saying all of this, but I don't think Ubah was saying it for that reason. But you can't play victim when somebody says something like this when you act a certain way.
Right. And Erin even said, and Erin is her bestie, said Brynn knows that Ubah gets hot and she just keeps pushing until she blows. And then when she blows, she's just like, you did this.
Yeah.
Like, you did this. So they get back to the house and they're all kind of going their own ways. And Erin asks Ubah if she's good. And she said, yeah. And then Erin and Jessel have a talk and, they're all good. And Jessel acknowledges the fact that it's just Brynn stirring the pot. Like, I think Jessel really does see what's going on. One, because she's smart, and two, because she is very close with Ubah.
Mm-hmm.
Jessel and Ubah are close. And, she sees what's going on.
When Ubah said, what does she say? A lion doesn't worry about what the chihuahua is saying.
Yes, that was good. It's so funny because she does come out with these really good one-liners.
Yeah.
And sometimes she does, like, because her English isn't her first language, sometimes she does say things that are a little off. But then other times she comes out with these great one-liners that are like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
The next morning we see Ubah, she's like trying to calm and center herself, like through breathing and like listening to, I don't know, it was meditation or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But you can see like they're showing flashbacks of like what had happened. Like, and I'm sure that's what was going through her head,
Yeah.
you
She's
know?
trying to quiet the noise.
Right. And then she's talking to Sai, and Sai's talking about how her foot is killing her. I totally forgot that she had glass in her foot. I cannot believe that she didn't have surgery.
I can't either because this is glass inside of your foot that you have veins in that can cut the vein, God forbid, or an artery. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, there was a point where they thought it may have been close to the artery. I remember like when
Yes.
this first happened. I mean, I guess it wasn't.
And even if she fell the wrong way, like,
I know.
I don't know, man. That's scary.
Yeah. Like I said, I totally forgot about it. Then those two are outside talking, and they're kind of talking loud, and they're right outside of Jenna and Raquel's room. And Sai asks Ubah, like, what she thinks about Brynn going after Jessel. And Ubah tells Sai that, listen, you should tell Jessel what Erin and Brynn were saying. Like, I don't want to be friends with someone who talks behind another friend's back. Like, you were there, you heard it, you should really say something.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that was good advice that Ubah gave her.
For sure.
And we said this before, we have seen such a different side this season, and I don't really think that she's getting credit for it.
No, I agree.
Because
and
of
she even said, she's like, I'm in a good place with Jessel, so I should have checked Brynn. I should have been like, you know what? Too much. Too much.
Right.
So unfortunately, she didn't do it in the moment, but at least she acknowledged that she should have done it after the moment.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, that's why you have friends, right? To kind of guide you and direct you, you know?
Yeah.
Then we see all the ladies are at breakfast and they're talking about going to the beach. Well, they're not all there yet, but a good portion of them. And they're talking about how they've got to put Brynn and Ubah on the opposite side of the beach from each other so that they can have, you know, a good beach day. Erin also says that, you know, we all know to Ubah, we all know that she was poking you, meaning Brynn, because Brynn wasn't out there yet.
Right.
And I was like, well, that's good. I'm glad that she's acknowledging it. And they all agreed, right?
Yeah. And then Ubah goes on to say how she was really there for Brynn. There was like a 6-month stretch.
Yeah.
And then right before BravoCon, like Brynn was having some kind of problem with family.
Right.
And, you know, she was there for her. So this is all very strange. And that's after Brynn did what she did with the guy from Connecticut, you know, calling it out the guy from Connecticut. Like,
exactly.
This is really odd that Brynn's doing this.
And that's kind of what Ubah's point was. She's like, here we are on a beautiful vacation. We shouldn't be fighting.
Right.
Like, I get to pick who my friends are. Like, I get to say who I want to hang out with. Like, my time is precious. Like, this isn't, and then this is when she used that bad example. It's not like your mom has cancer. You can't fix that.
Oh. Yeah.
Which, again, she absolutely did not mean that about Erin. Like,
sure. No, I mean, I don't even know if she used the word, maybe she did use the word
she
cancer.
did. And she did say like, mom.
Sick. Oh, she did. Okay.
She said mom and cancer. Again, there was no malintent in that.
No,
she was just giving an example
of
like there's serious things going on in life. And here we're fighting over stupid stuff. She's picking at Jessel because she takes too many pictures and she gets
glam and has a photographer. Like, who cares? She's a real housewife. Like, if you weren't like that before, you're going to be like that now.
Right. So then Erin gets up and she leaves and she's crying. And we knew in the beginning why she was crying about her mom, but then we find out later that her dad had cancer.
Yeah,
I mean,
now we know why because I don't think they ever said why he passed, right?
No, they didn't. So again, there's no Ubah she didn't mean it, and she didn't know about her father. Then Brynn comes out and she says that Jessel has changed as a person. And Jessel's like, I haven't changed as a person. Like, what are you saying? And then Brynn's like, well, maybe it's just because I don't like to do photo shoots. And maybe that's just why I'm closer with Erin. What?
Yeah, it's such a strange thing to say.
Right. And it was under her breath that she said it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was her agent.
Yeah, it was her agent. I just got to that part of my notes too.
And then Brynn says the birthday thing was a lot. And then she tells her about the spray tan. Then Brynn goes inside to talk to Erin. And that's when we find out about Erin's dad was just re-diagnosed again with lung cancer. And
That's sad.
it's very sad that nobody knows. She's really worried. Her father thinks it's no big deal. He's just brushing it off. So she's carrying that weight on her shoulders, plus the weight of her mother going to the next round of chemotherapy. You know, it's a lot. It's absolutely a lot. Plus, she was already having trouble with her husband at that point. Like, she definitely has a lot on her plate. And
yeah,
I can understand that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Erin says to Brynn that you're my fun buddy, and she feels like her and Brynn have this special bond. I mean, I do think they have a special bond, but I'm not really quite sure if it's real, to be quite honest with you.
I do think that they have a special bond too, but I just think that Brynn and Erin, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like we said before, like Brynn just doesn't want Erin to have any other connections with the other girls. And to me, that's odd. Like, you're on an ensemble show. Like, what do you think? You and Erin are going to get a spinoff? It's not happening.
No.
You're barely surviving as a cast on the reboot. So, like, I don't understand. But, you know people like that. You know people who can only have one friend.
Yes.
And they're insecure about that friend's friendships with other women.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there like that.
It's just strange. It really
it's
is
very strange to me, but they're out there.
Yeah. So then they all get ready to go to the beach. They're going to, this beach was Raquel's favorite beach when she was a child. And I was surprised to see how busy the beach was when they got there. I don't know why I was surprised. I just thought that they were going to some kind of like out of the way place beach but when they walked on the beach and I saw those people, I was like, oh, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Rebecca announces on the bus on the van that she's afraid of sharks, so she will not be going in the water. And they're all like, what do you mean you're not going in the water because of sharks? All right, well, that's a valid thing, I guess. I mean,
I don't go in the water because I'm afraid of sharks.
Okay,
I'm legit just like Rebecca in this. Like, I would go in like the lagoon in somebody's backyard and I would think that there would be a shark. Like, I can't. I'm scared of sharks.
All right, well, that's how she felt. She felt the exact same way. So, and you could see, like, they're walking on the beach, and it is a little weird. Like, it's not, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect because I've never been to Puerto Rico, but Ubah's trying to jump over this, like, little water thing, and there's a dead pigeon there, and she lands in the water, and she drops her bag, and she's, like, freaking out, and it was just a big scene. Raquel is insulted because she's being rude because this is her favorite childhood beach, and she's acting like a child because there's a dead pigeon. I
gotta be honest. I don't know how to feel about the Ubah reaction to the beach because I do think she was going on about it, and I do see why Raquel would be insulted.
Right.
And her feelings would be hurt. But if there were dead birds laying around, I don't know if I'd get in the water either. Well, I don't know if I'd go on and on and on about it, but I wouldn't want to go in the water.
I don't know how long she went on about it, to be honest with you, because we didn't really even see it that long.
Yeah, I know. It's all editing.
Right. And then she was sitting there and Brynn was going to go into the water and Ubah told her not to go into the water because there's a dead pigeon. And I just think it's so funny of all things because she's been calling them pigeons all season.
Oh my God. I thought the same thing. I'm like, did production plant that there?
Like, did they bring the pigeon with them?
Are there normally pigeons in Puerto Rico? Like, I feel like there's not.
Like,
it's
not like it was a seagull.
That's what I'm saying. Was it a seagull?
I don't know.
Which are basically just ocean pigeons.
I mean, listen, there is a different look to a seagull. I have a great love of seagulls because I go to the beach all the time and I take many pictures of seagulls. But honestly, I've never taken a picture of a dead seagull, and it was kind of hard to tell because it was laying sideways and I didn't really get to see the wings. And I don't know if it was a pigeon or a seagull.
I know.
Just think, what?
Either way, it was a dead bird laying there.
There definitely was a dead bird laying there.
And why? Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, we're on episode 13. So the next episode, we're still going to be in Puerto Rico because they just got to the beach and we see that there's going to be another blow up.
Yep. Did you watch What Happens Live?
I did. I didn't finish it. I started watching it. Did you watch it?
I did. And did you catch that he asked Raquel about the reunion? So they already taped the reunion.
Yes, I did see that. I did.
Because we haven't heard anything about the reunion, but that answers our question. They did have one.
Yeah, because normally we see like pictures and seating charts. I don't recall seeing that. Do you?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I was thinking after I watched Watch What Happens Live, the beginning of this season, remember how it starts? They're all getting ready for something and they're talking about 3 months ago. So maybe that's what they're getting ready for, the reunion.
I thought they were getting ready for their photo shoot of their opening shot.
Maybe they were.
I think that's what they were getting ready for. The opening shot.
Because they would do that after the season.
Well, they changed the people. Like they changed, Raquel is new.
That's what I'm saying though. Because so that scene where they're all getting ready and talking, the season had already filmed.
No, yeah, I know this season had already filmed. I think that they were shooting their opening shots because they're all standing out waiting for each other to take a picture. It's not like they were sitting down.
Okay.
I think it wasn't the reunion.
Okay.
I think that they were shooting. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was.
Well, right.
Because it wouldn't make sense for them to do the reunion before the season aired so far in advance because they need to see what happens. And that's what they kind of react to. And I think my impression was the reason that they were doing it is because the season ended early because they left.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I would imagine that the season's coming to an end soon because this is the trip that they get into the fight on and then that's it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not saying next week on the season finale of.
No, it's not. We'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't mind a little cliffhanger. I can wait. I don't have to know right away.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, give us something. Give us something other than Abe's dick pic and Brynn talking shit about Jessel.
Yeah.
I'm good with a cliffhanger.
I am too. I mean, we just dropped our Potomac episode today, but it did come out today that they were filming the reunion for Potomac today and that Karen is not there.
She's definitely not there.
I think so. I saw it in a couple places that she's not there. Like I said before, I would be surprised if she would be there.
Right.
I mean, what attorney would let her go? She hasn't been sentenced yet. Sentencing is at the end of the month.
She can't answer anything about that, and that was her storyline this year.
And that's what they're going to be coming at her for.
Yeah, she can't. She can't talk about it.
The other thing that came out, I think it came out on Monday, but we had already recorded our episode about Potomac. But I don't know if you saw, but Essence Magazine did a whole article about how Mia is taking down Potomac. Did you see that?
Really? I didn't see it, but I did see a clip that the Bra Bros were saying the same thing.
I read the article first, and then I happened to listen to Bra Bros, and I was like, shoot. Like, I read the article, I think, on Monday, and we had already done it right after it had aired on Sunday night, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we did. We did it early this week.
Yeah. And then after that, I heard them talking about it. I was like, they really did. I mean, it's everything that they said is exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Is that she is really bringing down Potomac, and her and Jacqueline need to go.
They do. They need to go. I'm sorry. They're trash. They're trashy. They're just trashy.
They are.
Mia's very, very trashy. Low budget.
Yeah. I guess we'll wait and see what happens with the reunion.
Yeah.
I mean, she just announced that her and Ink are over, so I guess G's going to be there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because Potomac, they bring the husbands on.
Yeah. Which means we'll get Happy Eddie.
Love Happy Eddie.
We're not going to get Ray.
No Ray.
I guess no one's coming for Stacy. I don't think there's no way TJ's coming. There's no way. There's no way.
Don't, listen, Bravo, don't do it. We don't want to say it. We could do without the awkwardness.
I did hear from Bra Bros that Stacy got a job on Fox.
Oh, good for her.
I don't know which Fox and I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, but that's great.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I mean, I actually don't dislike her. I don't like the whole TJ thing.
no, I like Stacey. I think Stacey should have done this season alone.
I do too.
I think Stacey would have been perfectly fine doing it on her own. If her ex-husband didn't want her daughter to film, okay.
Yeah.
Like you could do it on your own.
Yeah, I think so
TJ
too.
was a bad move.
I do too.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I don't think there's anything else in the Bravo world that came out. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
I listened to Melissa's podcast today for the new year. She had on the podcast host from It Not Skinny, Not Fat.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to that one?
No.
I've listened to her before. She's pretty good. And they were talking about New Jersey housewives in general. I think you saw this. It came out this past week that I guess apparently Bravo had cast a whole new group of younger women for New Jersey, and they decided they put that on hold too. So that's why Andy made the announcement that nothing is going to happen until 2026.
I don't even believe they did that. I think they're just saying that.
I think that they may have, because I did hear rumblings of that they were casting. Like I did see stuff out there.
I think they're just, I think they're putting stuff out there to see how these girls, I think that they're waiting. They're just sitting back and watching what these women are doing. And Jennifer Aiden and Teresa are shooting themselves in the foot. Teresa's got to stop talking about Joe Gorga. She's got to stop doing it. And Jen just has to try to be somewhat of a decent person, and she physically can't.
Did you see she doubled down and wants an apology from Jersey Mike's?
And you know what, Jersey Mike's, BlackRock don't need your fucking money, Aiden. You're never getting an apology from them. Fuck you. Don't ever step another foot in a Jersey Mike's. BlackRock don't need your money. I mean, are you out of your ever-loving mind?
It's crazy to me that she doubled down on that.
And did you see where Bill was there with her?
I saw that she said that he went someplace else and there was no line because he got food at another place in the airport. Where I don't even remember where she said he got food. Do you?
I don't know, but I can't believe he was there with her. Like,
well, he wasn't in the restaurant with her. He wasn't in Jersey Mike's, but he was at the airport.
Like, get your woman in check, man.
I really think.
I mean, if anybody can do it, it's him. Because he's the bankroll. So if she wants to keep that lifestyle, he should start putting his foot down and be like, stop acting like an asshole. And maybe she'll listen, because her meal ticket will go away if he doesn't. You know, if he leaves, he could leave, Bill.
I think he stays for the
yourself.
Kids. I think he stays for the kids.
They got plenty of money. He can do it. He can go. You know, he can go. Kids are going to be fine. And I don't encourage people to leave their marriages often. I don't know, man. This guy. But that's what I mean. Like, does he not think she's a horrible person? He must not think she's a horrible person.
I just think that he has blinders on and he just goes through the motions of life with her.
Yeah, must be.
I don't think there's any joy there. I don't see it. You know, I just think he may be afraid of her a little bit, or maybe because he saw what happened between her parents when they got divorced and how, I don't know.
I don't think her parents are divorced, though. I
maybe
think
they're not divorced
separately, right?
Maybe. And maybe that's the other thing.
He said that.
Divorce isn't allowed?
Yep. It's not in our culture.
Yeah.
So you know what? I guess he's really not going anywhere, Bill.
Right. It's a cultural thing, right? It's not allowed. He can just let her do what she's going to do, because what's he going to do?
And really, he can go do whatever he wants to do, because she's not going anywhere.
Where's she going?
Nowhere.
Right.
Because 1, nobody else would tolerate her. And 2, she likes the money. I mean, listen, Margaret was spot on with that always.
Did you see the cruise line put out their statement too, that people deserve a second chance, but we're going to announce a surprise housewife guest like Jenny. They didn't even name her, but they said people deserve a second chance. I'm like, what?
I wonder if they did that because she had a contract. She probably contacted her lawyer and was like, they're breaking my contract. So her lawyers might have reached out to them, so they felt like they would do some kind of damage control.
Well, I'm sure she had a contract, but any contract, I mean, they would have to have a clause in there about her behavior, like, and her, any of those contracts have those kind of clauses in there.
I don't know. We've seen how the Bravo's contracts have evolved. I
Yeah,
don't know. It's interesting.
it is interesting. All right, well, we're just going to have to stay tuned and wait and see what happens.
Yeah. We'll
I
see
guess
what happens.
until next time. Bye.
Bye.